多謝你嘅問題。其實今日咧或者呢幾排咧都見到有好多一啲質疑咧，就話呢個係咪搞港獨？絕對不是，因為我相信大家都知道，我哋係根據基本法嘅。咁基本法亦都講得清楚，就係香港咧係中國嘅一部分。我哋呢個特區係中國不可分割嘅一部分。我哋係絕對冇挑戰，亦都冇牽涉呢一部分。咁我哋今次公投嘅議題都講得好清楚，係盡快實現真普選，廢除功能組別。咁大家亦都知道基本法咧45條、68條係講得好清楚，我哋香港最終係達至普選嘅，呢個包括立法會嘅普選同特首嘅普選，爭取雙普選，亦都係香港20幾年嚟嘅夢想，持續不斷嘅一個運動。咁我哋今次呢一個公投嘅運動咧，亦都係符合爭取普選基本法45條同68條嘅精神，所以唔涉及任何嘅有啲人質疑係咪搞港獨咧？呢個係上綱上線，可能係因為佢哋喺呢一方面詞窮理屈，所以就扣咗一頂根本都唔啱戴嘅帽俾我哋。
點解要起義咧？
其實咧就而家個制度咧係非常之唔公義嘅。咁你睇到咧，其實就算特區政府自己本身，佢都承認而家嘅功能組別係唔符合普選嘅原則，唔普及，亦都唔平等。但係我請大家留意今次政府推出嚟嗰個諮詢文件，特別係5.12段，佢甚至連去一啲小修小補，去做下一啲功能組別嘅小修小補，佢都話太難啦。佢話牽涉嘅利益太多。我覺得大家真係呢一句説話真係可圈可點啊！真係我呼籲大家去睇下，即係你諗下，即係明知道呢個係一個唔公義嘅制度，明知道呢個制度回歸以嚟一直係咁延續落去，但係呢個特區政府佢完全唔理，完全唔俾佢做任何嘅嘢。溫家寶話香港有深層次嘅矛盾，其實你好多民生方面嘅深層次矛盾。你歸根結底都係源於制度嘅唔公義，制度方面嘅矛盾。你係製造我哋人民嘅階級，製造唔同嘅人民。我哋要求嘅係一個公義、公平嘅制度。起義咧係其實係呼籲香港市民係要出嚟，係要行動。因為你話爭取普選，但係如果你淨係嗌口號，係唔足夠，係要為自己、為下一代出嚟爭取。咁所以我哋係用呢一個起義呢兩個字。
我補充就係個詞啫，我對文字比較敏感啲。義者義也，即係四個點解 ？OK。
TVB, 2 questions. The first question: Will these 5 lawmakers run in the by-elections? If not, what will be the criteria for choosing candidates in the by-election? The second question is, some people have voiced their concerns that they might support democracy. They probably want a pro-democrat to be back in that code in future in the by-election. But the problem is the candidate you choose in future may not be the one they like. So they have the feeling that their support for democracy is kind of hijacked by this kind of arrangement. What is your advice for them, and what should they do?
Well, in fact, in a normal election, there will be all sorts of agenda. Everybody can have a different platform, and also in normal election there will be proportionate representation. But then we have gone through a normal election. This is a by-election for a special purpose. And in fact, it's at a critical juncture of our fight for real democracy. For years, we've been pining for universal suffrage. And we have been saying very clearly that universal suffrage is inconsistent with functional constituencies. We want the abolition of functional constituencies. And we want this by-election to be a clear message to the government, because the government has been trying to evade the question by saying, oh, well, this is a controversial matter, there is no consensus within the community. Here is a very rare opportunity. It is not something you can do again and again, and it's certainly not something we undertake lightly. So it's a very rare opportunity, and it's at a critical juncture of the democratic movement. We want to focus on the agenda. We want this to be a clear message. A by-election is very different from a poll. It's very different from a signature campaign. It is an objective, quantifiable way to ascertain our determination, our wish for abolition of functional constituencies, which we otherwise have difficulty to achieve through the legislature, because as you understand, any change needs a two-thirds majority. And under the current system, there is simply no way the Democrats can gain a two-thirds. And you know we have no power to table any resolution for change. Any resolution for change has to be tabled by the government, and it's refusing to do anything. So what can we do? Within the limited space, this is the best that as Democrats we try to do. We want the people to give us a clear mandate and a clear message to the government. Therefore, my urge to these people is that don't give up, don't give in. Seize the very rare opportunity to tell the government in no uncertain terms that we want functional constituency to be abolished. And to answer the first part of your question, hence the candidate, the personality of the candidate is really not as important as the agenda to be voted on. At this stage, we will not decide on who will be running in the by-election, but the focus of the campaign would be on the agenda that we want to be clear and we want the people to vote.
I understand that you want to achieve a 50% voting rate, and for people who they would really want to show the support for the democratic movement, but they don't like the candidate. Do you think they should just vote, abstain, that they should participate as well, or what should they do?
Well, I've earlier already explained that if you miss this opportunity, you never know whether we can have something like a de facto referendum once again. It's the first time something like that is done, and if it's not done well, or maybe it's the last time, we don't know. But it's so important that as a community we give a clear message on abolition of functional constituencies. For our part, who are pushing this referendum movement, we make it clear that our purpose is not because we think this is a good candidate, that's a bad candidate. In fact, in a way, you can say these are already current legislators. But what we want to do is to give the people an opportunity to vote on the agenda. There is no other way we can vote on the agenda. We have tried this before. The Pan-Democrats have tried a civic referendum, but you can't organize it because you don't have the voters' return. You can't organize all the voting stations. You can't ensure that people only would vote once. Therefore, the only way we can bring about a de facto referendum is through this method. We are doing our best, and we have to trust the people to make the right choice.